Trump's absence from the public eye for a few days fueled wild speculation online, with hashtags like "Where is Trump?" and "Trump dead" trending on X.
I think it's very sad, actually.
But he's very much alive, spotted golfing in Virginia on Saturday, August 30th. The rumors took off after he hadn't been seen since Tuesday, August 26th, and the internet did what it always does, filled in the blanks. Trump himself shot back on Sunday, posting on Truth Social in all caps, "Never felt better in my life."
Overall, I think I felt I was in very good shape. Good heart, a good soul, very good soul.
Now here's the thing, while he's obviously alive and making sure everyone knows it, there are still real questions about his health. Recently, pictures of Trump with a noticeable bruise on his right hand went viral. And this isn't the first time. Similar marks were spotted earlier in the year, even when he was meeting French President Emmanuel Macron. Add to that the swollen ankles seen in past appearances, and people can't help but wonder what's really going on.
I don't know.
It was in July that the White House officially confirmed Trump had been diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency, or CVI for short. At a press briefing, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt explained that doctors had noticed mild swelling in the president's ankles during a checkup, which eventually led to the CVI diagnosis.
Bilateral lower extremity venous Doppler ultrasounds were performed and revealed chronic venous insufficiency, a benign and common condition, particularly in individuals over the age of 70.
To put it simply, CVI is a circulation problem where blood doesn't flow back up to the heart as it should, often causing swelling, discomfort, or even skin changes in the legs. Not a life-threatening diagnosis, but definitely something that comes with age and needs attention.
Importantly, there was no evidence of deep vein thrombosis or arterial disease.
Now, Trump's doctor, Sean Barbabella, tried to calm nerves, saying the bruises look like simple soft tissue irritation, likely from endless handshakes and his use of aspirin, which thins the blood. But many people weren't convinced. Bruises because of handshakes, really? That's when the White House turned to Vice President J.D. Vance, who in his interview with USA Today was quick to defend Trump's health.
The president is in incredibly good health. He's got incredible energy. And while most of the people who work around the president of the United States are younger than he is, I think that we find that he actually is the last person who goes to sleep. He's the last person making phone calls at night, and he's the first person who wakes up and the first person making phone calls in the mornings.
And for those wondering whether he's prepared to step in if needed, Vance didn't dodge the question. He had a clear answer.
Yes, things can always happen. Yes, terrible tragedies happen, but I feel very confident the President of the United States is in good shape, is going to serve out the remainder of his term and do great things for the American people. And if, God forbid, there's a terrible tragedy, I can't think of better on-the-job training than what I've gotten over the last 200 days.
A little bold, don't you think? Still, medical experts outside the White House aren't brushing this off so quickly. Dr. Jeff Foster pointed out that the bruises have shown up multiple times over the past year, which could signal something more than just handshakes. He mentioned it might be linked to a cannula, blood-thinning medication, or simply fragile skin at Trump's age. Another expert, Dr. Gareth Nye, chimed in saying that bruising in older adults can be completely harmless, or it could hint at treatments like IV therapy. He even noted that sun damage over the years can make skin more prone to these marks. And then, there was Trump's own comment that really raised eyebrows. Just earlier this month during an interview, he admitted he was worried about whether he'd get into heaven, suggesting his efforts in Ukraine might help.
I want to try and get to heaven if possible. I'm hearing I'm not doing well.
Now, whatever your beliefs, hearing a 79-year-old president publicly worry about the afterlife got people talking. Psychologists pointed out it might even suggest a deeper awareness of aging and health. Social media, of course, exploded with speculation, with some users bluntly suggesting that Trump fears his time may be running out. But it's not just his physical health that's under scrutiny. Trump's mental well-being is raising concerns too.
And I took a cognitive exam, and I would challenge anybody here to meet those marks because I have a perfect mark.
Over the past 8 years, there's been growing concern about Trump's behavior.
Some of what we're seeing is pretty extreme elements of his decline that are certainly suggestive of more serious impairment.
People close to him, and even those in his own family, have raised red flags. His niece, Mary Trump, a trained psychologist hasn't been shy about voicing her opinion. In one of her blog posts, she brought up some pretty odd moments, like Trump cutting a Pennsylvania town hall short just to sit and listen to songs from Cats and Shrek for almost 40 minutes. Yes, seriously.
So play YMCA. Go ahead. Let's go. Nice and loud.
Here we go, everybody.
She also pointed to his performance at the Economic Club of Chicago, where he went off on long, confusing rants that, according to her, showed a major disconnect from reality.
To me, the most beautiful word in the dictionary is tariff.
Experts have been weighing in, too. Harry Siegel, a senior lecturer in psychology at Cornell, explained that Trump's issues aren't just about bending the truth. Most politicians spin things a little, sure. But Siegel says Trump's pattern of dishonesty is so extreme, it could meet the criteria for sociopathic behavior. And now there's another layer: linguistic slips and memory issues. They might sound like small gaffes, but according to Siegel, these are signs of early dementia, even though they are intermittent.
The energy is so big, it's so like amorphous, it's all over the place. If you make donuts, it's a stove and the truck to bring them to wherever they're being delivered.
Dr. John Gartner, a longtime psychotherapist who's taught at Johns Hopkins, has also spoken out. He's been studying Trump's behavior for years and says there's absolutely no doubt that Trump is experiencing cognitive decline.
We'll have an economy based on wind. I never understood wind. I know windmills very much. I've studied it better than anybody. I know it's very expensive.
According to Gartner, when Donald Trump was younger in the 1980s, he was actually quite articulate. He spoke in polished paragraphs. Now he has difficulty even finishing a sentence.
The members of our armed forces, and you understand that very well, the members of our armed forces to immediately waive all applicable state taxes despite these obstacles, Karen.
The doctor explains he goes off on these ramblings where he is confabulating things. Weird things in which he'll talk about Venezuelans and mental hospitals, and then he'll talk about sharks and batteries or the late, great Hannibal Lecter and Silence of the Lambs.
An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids. Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man.
Gartner also pointed out that Trump has started using made-up words like Critious instead of Christmas, or misses for missiles. At first glance, it might seem like a slip of the tongue, but when it happens over and over, experts say it's a red flag for brain damage or dementia.
Ever foistered women's basketball national champions, House and Senate lawmakers advising lawmakers.
And it's not just speech. Trump's physical movements have changed too. Remember when he struggled to walk down a ramp? Or when he had trouble lifting a glass with one hand? According to Gartner, these aren't isolated incidents.
When you ran out the healthy arms, you ran out of really healthy, they had great arms, but they ran out. It's called sports, it's called baseball in particular.
Behaviorally, Trump has become even more impulsive. Sure, some might argue he's always been unpredictable, but lately, the erratic decisions have ramped up.
You think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No,
Can
you've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking.
Gartner also pointed out, he is much more impulsive and erratic now. He blurts things out. He makes impulsive decisions that he has to then reverse, like his many reversals on tariffs.
So we're going to be announcing very shortly a major tariff on pharmaceuticals.
And if you've been watching his speeches lately, you might have noticed something feels off. He meanders, loses focus, and makes bizarre statements. Let's run through a few. In October 2023, he said Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban was the leader of Turkey. He also claimed Hungary shares a border with Russia. It doesn't.
Viktor Orban. Did anyone ever hear of him? He's probably like one of the strongest leaders anywhere in the world. And he's the leader of, right? He's the leader of Turkey. Fronts on both Russia.
Then, during the 2024 campaign, he mixed up Nikki Haley and Nancy Pelosi, claimed he was running against Barack Obama, and said we were heading into World War II.
And we did with Obama. We won an election that everyone said couldn't be won.
Trump also said that Joan Rivers voted for him in 2016, despite the fact that she passed away in 2014. And in September, 2024, he claimed the audience went crazy for him at a debate with Kamala Harris. That had no audience at all.
And they didn't correct her once, and they corrected me everything I said practically, and I think 9 times or 11 times. And the audience was absolutely, they went crazy.
One more example. When asked at an economic forum about how he'd make childcare more affordable, Trump talked for nearly 2 minutes without ever answering the question.
I was somebody, we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, childcare is childcare. It's